Hello all, welcome back. Now I think you have done the installation part. Now let's jump into the TypeScript fundamentals. Okay, just let's write some code and so that we can understand how this TypeScript is going to help developers to do our job easily. So I just open a folder and I've just created app.ts file. Okay, here in that TS file you can write any kind of JavaScript because TypeScript completely understand JavaScript, plus it will provide some strong types so that whatever the code is valid in JavaScript, 100% it is valid in TypeScript. So let's create few variables and store some numbers or strings or something. Just let's start from the basics. So I'm just declaring, suppose let student, I'm just taking the student details. So student name. So I'm just taking MS Dhoni. MS Dhoni. Okay. Fine. How I'm writing in JavaScript, I'm writing in the same way. Okay. But here in JavaScript, we used to write like this, right? Let student name is equal to MS Dhoni. If it is a string, we are just mentioning the string. In TypeScript, how we need to write? We should mention that this is a string, right? This is a string. Suppose I'm just taking let, I'm just taking another string like title equal to, suppose I'm just taking like CSK theme or something. So here we should mention clearly that it is a string. Okay? It is a string. So now understand, here it will say that okay, let title, that this title is a string, and now you can't add any other data type to the title. So if you see, if you just try to add title equal to, if you just give us some number, so now it is throwing an error. The type number is not assignable to type string. So that means we can't assign a number or any other data type to a string. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So you can play with this similarly with other data types, like first go with a string, a number and boolean. Then we can go and understand how to deal with arrays and objects and complex data types. Okay. Fine. So here, observe carefully. Here, if I try to do a change for student name is equal to, I'm just trying to provide some number. The name also, it is throwing an error. It is clearly saying that type number is not assignable to type string. Yes, here also it is throwing an error. Okay, here I mentioned clearly that it's a string, but here in the first line I didn't mention that it is a string, even it is in a TypeScript. But still it is working properly. Observe carefully. This is very, very important. So this is the natural way, like how we need to write the TypeScript. Okay, what TypeScript is suggesting from the beginning. Okay, this is the structure. This is the syntax that how we need to define the type. Suppose normally in C language we used to write like int a is equal to 10, right? In the same way here, let, because we are using let or constant or a var to declare the variables, and we will assign some value dynamically, it will check the type. That's what we have learned in JavaScript already. Here we should mention the data type like this. So let title is the variable and we should mention the data type here. Suppose if it is a number, how we need to do, let suppose age, suppose this is the number, so number and is equal to suppose 20. This is the way. And suppose if you want to put a boolean, suppose is logged in. Suppose if it is a boolean, so we should mention like boolean equal to, that is true. This is the natural way. That is the natural way to define the types. But still, this is working. This is working. Let student name is equal to MS Dhoni. I didn't mention explicitly that this is a string, but it will work. It will strictly, it is not going to allow, to assign another data types. Okay, why it is working? Suppose here also, suppose select salary is equal to, suppose student maybe it's salary or otherwise pocket money. Pocket money. Suppose if he's working, that's fantastic. So I'm just giving like nowadays 5,000 is enough. I'm not sure. When I was studying, like at the time, 2,000 is enough. But that's why I'm giving 5,000. I'm not sure how much pocket money is enough for now, like this generation students. So I'm just giving 5,000. So still it is working same. It is working same. So you even you can access. Suppose if you see the title is there, that is a string, right? The title dot. So you can get access to all the methods of that particular string. So for string, how many methods we have? We are getting from prototypes, right? So everything is available. For student name also, there is no difference. There is no difference. Student name dot also you will get the same thing. So in the same way for numbers also, whatever the benefits you will get for this syntax, so you are going to get the same benefit for this syntax. But what is this? Because we are saying that Raghu, it's a TypeScript. We should mention the type strictly. But TypeScript is very intelligent. Okay, TypeScript is very intelligent. Suppose if you see let username is equal to MS Dhoni, even though we are not mentioning like that it's a string, already it is understood by the TypeScript. So if you see, observe just mouse over here, it's clearly saying that let student name is a string. Here we have explicitly mentioned that. So here also it is working in the same way, but how it is working? So the concept is called, we can say that is called types by inference. Okay, we should understand the terminology also, because sometimes suddenly in interviews they will ask, what is the types by inference? Did you get a chance to work on it? So at the time, if you see that, oh my god, I didn't heard this word, I don't know what is this. At the time, okay, we will be in a trouble. So please understand the terminology also, so that it is going to be very easy. So it's very simple, because how you are defining without mentioning the data type also, it will provide the strong type system, because TypeScript understand JavaScript clearly, and whenever you initialize the value, with that value it will understand that it is a string, or whether it is a number, or whether it is a boolean. So that now, right now we are in 2023, so that we can use all the powers which we have in the latest TypeScript, right? So that so if you want to declare a student name is equal to MS Dhoni. Yes, done. We have provided this type system. We are following the type system. So if you don't want to use semicolon, just leave it, because if you go to another line, we don't need to mention the semicolon as well. So here, let student name is done, and let age for the student. Suppose student is 20. Okay, and let is logged in is equal to, so it will work in a similar fashion. So our first advantage with the TypeScript is, whenever you are trying to assign another data type to the given data type, it should throw an error. So just cross check one more time. So student name is equal to, suppose if you just put a number, it is throwing an error, so that it is working properly. And for age, if you give a number, it doesn't throw any error. But if you try to give any string, it will throw an error that the string is not assignable to a type number. In the same way for boolean also, suppose is logged in, so by mistake if you just try to give a true or false like this, it will throw an error that the type string is not assignable to type boolean. Okay, so many times we will the human mistake, some by mistake we will put that true and false in a single quotations or double quotation. So TypeScript will save us, okay, to avoid these kind of mistakes. I hope you guys understood how to use simple string, a number, and boolean, and with types by inference. Suppose if you still want to use this one, if you want to mention like this, yeah, for practice purpose you can do it, but while doing projects, please avoid this. But that doesn't mean We are not going to use this kind of syntax. Yes, we are going to use it, but for simple things, already TypeScript is going to understand clearly, so that we no need to mention again. So this is completely valid code, and just this also completely valid. But because it's better to use follow this syntax, right? It's better to follow the types by inference, because it will save few lines of code or few characters of code, right? So this is more cleaner code. So we understand how to use a string and how to use a number, how to define, like at least how to define a variable with a boolean value. So in the next video, we are going to understand how to deal with other data types, right? We have arrays, and we have objects, and we have functions, right? How to deal these things in TypeScript. And we have few more other types in TypeScript, that is any, unknown, never, a lot of things are there. Okay, so step by step we can learn. So just please do practice whatever we have learned so far and get ready for the next session. So if you understand, if you got the benefit from this video, so do click on that like button, so that it is going to be helpful for more students like you. If for that only I'm asking, click on like button. If you understand the concept, if you like this concept, if you understand my explanation, then only click on like button. Okay, and do practice. Otherwise, please don't do it. Okay, thank you. I hope you enjoyed, and get ready for the next topic. Thank you. Bye bye.